Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm GC Smith and welcome to War on the Top. And I hope you have all had a great international tabletop game. Even if you weren't celebrating it, maybe you were doing some Warhammer, so you had a great tabletop day anyway. I'll be bringing you today, we'll be having a look, at this. The White Dwarf, issue 400. Focusing really in on the Tau, as well as a few Lord of the Rings stuff. But the main focus is really the Tau in this issue of White Dwarf, which is overall very good indeed. We see very beautiful Tau army featuring in a battle report against a rather nice looking Tyranid army, if I do say so. We also see a lot of the releases. We see everything that I've already shown you before in other videos, as well as a few codex pages and all that stuff. It's looking very good. I mean, we can even make out Kadri's Fireblade rules, so we can guarantee that he is a unit type character. We can see that he has combat armor, he has photon grenades and marker light. He is an independent character with Spitfire and supporting fire. And if Kadri Fireblade and every model in his unit remains stationary in the movement phase, that their pulse rifles and pulse carbines can fire an additional shot in the shooting phase. So, in other words, it's worded so they can't fire an extra mark light shot, which I think is rather good. Really well written there, and it just looks like it'll be a good unit to have. And it's just nice being able to make out some of the unit rules in here. Better images there. Now, there are a few things to note from this issue of the White Dwarf. If we go to the army list, and we see a few pieces of war gear. We see the fact that the Riptide can take a stimulant injector. Now, whether or not this is a special issue still, I'm not sure. But the fact that you can give a Riptide battlesuit a feel no pain save when it's going to be focused by a lot of the enemy firepower is absolutely amazing. We also see that it has a velocity tracker, which is the Skyfire rule item. So we can take Riptides and blow their stuff out of the sky. How easy that will be with Riptides, I'm not quite sure. Seeing as Riptide doesn't really do much in this battle report, unfortunately. And that is quite a shame. You got this brand new massive kit and it didn't really do much. In fact, none of the new units did great in the battle report, or at least they didn't really shine. They didn't have their place to shine. The Sunshot Bomber's bombs kind of really scattered and they didn't really focus on it doing much. I'm not saying it can't do much, and in fact I would imagine in the Codex it will do much. It's like in the Chaos one, where the Helldrake doesn't seem to do much in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. Though the Pathfinders do a good job, though we don't get to see what that drone it does. Yeah, we see that they took a recon drone, but we didn't even see what it did, which is a real shame. Overall, we also see there are other pieces of war gear, like a Pure Tide Engram Neurochip, but we never actually got to see what that does. They never mentioned it in the battle report, which I think was a shame as well. We see uses of marker drones, which may suggest they got cheaper, because I definitely wouldn't see why you'd take one unless it was cheaper. And a lot of his units have them, so maybe they've gone down quite a bit, especially with all the new drones added in. We know that the Sunshark bomber can fire at least a pulse bomb. Though I can imagine it may be able to fire different ones because of the mentioning of it having bombs. We also know that the bombers' drones, when they overload their iron rifles, they get blast templates, which is quite good because they mentioned how its Strength 8 blast blew up a whole unit of zone throats. So we get to see that there is some hope in things like the fighter and bomber. If the fighter can get those interceptor drone kind of things with iron rifles, yes please. And in fact, iron rifles, a Strength 8 blast? Considering Pathfinders can take an iron rifle, or something similar, that may not be Strength 8 blast, but be able to overcharge it to that degree? Wow. Yeah, Tau have really got shooty. So damn shooty. We see the broadsides taking out a few monstrous creatures. Monstrous creatures fall left, right and centre in this army report, and there's really not that much that really focuses on them. It's just they marker light it up and take it down one by one with the fusion blasters. We also see Shadow Sun firing a fusion blaster at one target and another, and we also see her joining a unit. Yes, she can finally join units. She's no longer required to sit on her own with her drones. Her and her drones can all join the unit, which I think is absolutely amazing and will definitely mean Shadow Sun gets more viewings in future. Overall, a great issue, and we definitely get to see some good Tau things. We see the Battle Tank Commander, the tank guy, he tears up Gene Stealers and all that. We also see another piece of war gear, actually, by the way, called the Repulsor Impact Field, which is a great piece of war gear, which allows you to roll, basically for each model and unit that has that. Now, it may be special issue war gear, but for each model in the unit that has that, when the Charger unit assaults them, you roll d6, that unit takes d6 strength 4 AP, like dash, no AP whatsoever, hits at initiative 10. Now if that is not special issue war gear, now it suggests that it might be in this, but if it wasn't special issue war gear, that is good. A whole battlesuit unit rolling 3d6, yeah, quite cool. Now, obviously, the hint would be that you only took it on one, so I would suggest it's special issue war gear, or you may just be testing out bits of war gear and trying to make points or something. So we'll get to see a bit more on next Saturday. It may be special issue war gear, but I'm not going to guarantee that to you at this particular point. Overall, the battle report does go well. The Tau win, which you'd expect, really, them being a new army. The Riptide doesn't die, he just gets bogged down in combat, but you try tearing it up. And he does kind of overheat his iron cannon, but I'm not sure if that is because of his Nova reactor or because it's an iron weapon and you can supercharge it anyway. I really want to see, they mentioned the Nova reactor being able to supercharge, and I really want to be able to see what its supercharging effect actually does. I really want to be able to see if its supercharging actually does anything if you take a burst cannon, because I really want to see the heavy burst cannon and see what that does. I mean, we already had heavy burst cannons that were just 30-inch range burst cannons, but we really need a heavy burst cannon to be better if you're going to take on a Riptide, because more strength 5 firepower is really not what the Tau needs. They got enough. I mean, I'm surprised he even took burst cannons on his he took burst cannons in a unit here, which was like, why? Just why? Why take a 30-point model? More than 30 points to get 3 twin-link burst cannon shots when you could take, more than 3 fire warriors. Okay, they're fair enough, they're not twin-linked, but you've still got 3 of them. And that's 3 individual models you have to kill. And in fact, actually, yeah, they are twin-link burst cannons, which suggests that you can't take them singly anymore, as you can. Now, here's another interesting thing, actually, if you're still watching. They actually mentioned the submunition rounds, on the Hammerhead, which would suggest that it's an option to buy, which may replace its alternate mode of fire, which may be sad, because then that means it's not as powerful as it used to be in that respect. Generally, nothing that makes no sense. Broadsides still have a purpose, but they're not what they were anymore. I mean, I'm really hoping that the Beamwheel is in the Codex. I'm really hoping it is, because the fact that we only have Strength 10 firepower on our Hammerhead now, when other armies have greater access, they have things like Vindicators, which are cheaper, and Large Blast. Okay, fair enough, not as long range, but they've got better ways to deal. Tau really need the Strength 10 kind of firepower. They've got medium strength firepower covered. But they haven't really got much. They used to have high strength, and if we're losing that on the broadsides, we really need some other way to get that kind of firepower to be able to actually kill toughness 5 things would be nice instantly. But we'll see them come next Saturday, I guess. Overall, not a bad complaint. White Dwarf issue's great read overall. I wish that, as I say, I really wish that the new units got a chance to shine, but we can't all get I guess in a battle report they've got to try and balance out the new units with the revamped units and other units like that. So we got to see supporting fire player an issue. We got to see player role. We got to see burst stealth suits get their burst cannons at BS2 Overwatch kind of thing with their unit upgrade. And this White Dwarf also does feature some rather gorgeous Golden Demon entries from France and Italy. And there's a very particular one I want to show you if I can find it. There we go. That one right there. The Only in Death Does Duty End, I think it is. Yeah, Only in Death Does Duty End, which is a great diorama of the guy being put in as Dreadnought. And then there's also that Nurgle Dread Knight, which absolutely looks gorgeous. Overall, as I say, great read. Definitely something I'd recommend picking up just to read some of the new Tau stuff. And I hopefully will be able to do some more Tau stuff in the next week. And hopefully we'll be able to start doing a lot more once Saturday hits. As I say, despite what I'm saying about wanting to do a lot this week, I probably won't be able to. I'll go to a funeral. Obviously that makes this timeless. It doesn't make this timeless anymore since I'm mentioning something in the next week. But I want to be able to mention stuff to current subscribers, you know, watching this as I put it up, so they may be able to expect no video content really much in the next week because I'll be away for 3 days. So. But I will be ready for the release, and I will be doing unboxing of like the new Riptide and the Codex, which are the units I'm getting straight away. And then I might buy a few things afterwards, but we'll have to wait and see for that, won't we? So thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment below what you think is what you like best about the White Dwarf, what you think is going to be the best unit in the Tau based on that if you want. And I'll read the comments and maybe reply to a few. And see you next time.